Good morning, all. Today we are discussing the topic integration testing. There are so many testing associated in the software development. One of the testing is integration testing. Priorly, we'll be doing unit testing, and after that, we'll be doing integration testing. In unit testing, we are just in unit testing, we are testing each modules, and we are just checking whether each module is working correctly. And after that, we'll be doing the integration testing. In integration testing, the input is what we get, the properly working modules after the unit testing. So in integration testing, it is a systematic technique for constructing the software architecture while at the same time conducting tests to uncover errors associated with interface. The objective is to take unit tested components and build a program structure that has been dictated by design. All the components are combined in advance and the entire program is tested as a whole. So here the input is unit tested components, and after then it is combined together as per the design, and then the entire program as a whole, it is integrated, or all the components combined, then the program, then the unit is, the unit goes for the integration testing. In integration testing, the options are Big Bang approach and an incremental construction strategy. In incremental integration, incremental integration is the aesthetics of Big Bang approach. The program is constructed and tested in small increments where errors are easier to isolate and correct. Interfaces are more likely to be tested completely, and a systematic test approach may be applied. Here, each time we are integrating components, we will not be integrating the whole components together. Rather than we'll be combining less number of components together, and then we will be checking. So in that case, it will be easier to identify the errors and can do properly. There are two types of integration approaches. First is top-down integration approach, and the second is bottom-up integration approach. We'll first discuss the top-down integration approach. In top-down integration testing, it is an incremental approach to construction of the software architecture. Here, the modules are integrated by moving downwards through the control hierarchy, beginning with the main control modules subordinates to the main control modules are incorporated into the structure in either the depth first or breadth first search. So in the top-down integration strategy, we'll be starting from the first main module and going downwards, and we can either select the depth first manner or the breadth first manner for the module integration. Here there's a diagram showing the top-down integration strategy. First, M1 is the main unit. From M1, we can select either in the depth first search or the breadth first search. If you are opting for the depth first search, we'll be from M1, we'll be then selecting M2, then M5, then M6 or M8. Likewise, we'll be selecting the modules for integration. If you are selecting the modules in the breadth first manner, the first we'll be selecting M1, then M2, M3, M4, and this goes on. This is the explanation. Selecting the left-hand path, components M1, M2, M5 would be integrated first, then M8 or M6 would be integrated, and then the central and the right-hand control paths are built. The breadth first integration incorporates all the components directly subordinate to each level, moving across the structure horizontally. From the figure, component M2, M3, M4 would be integrated first, then the control level, M5, M6, and then it goes on. Now we will be just going through the steps of the integration process. The main control module is used as a test driver, and a stub are substituted for all the components directly subordinate to the main control module. Depending on the integration approach selected, depth first or the breadth first, subordinate stubs are replaced once at a time with the actual components. Third, the tests are conducted as each component is integrated. On completion of each set of tests, another stub is replaced with a real component. The fifth one is regression testing may be conducted to ensure that new errors have not been introduced. So the first step is we'll be using the control module as a test driver and the stubs are used. Next, we'll be selecting the modules in the depth first or breadth first manner. Then each time when the components are integrated, the tests are conducted. Once the test of each set is completed, the stubs are replaced with the original components. And after that, we'll be testing the whole components using regression test to check whether any errors have been introduced. So next integration approach is the bottom-up approach. This begins construction and testing with atomic modules, that is, component at the lowest level in the program structure. Components are integrated from the bottom up. The functionality provided by the component subunits to a given level is always available, and the need for the stubs is eliminated. So this is the bottom-up integration. Here we'll be starting from the bottom layer, then we will be going upwards. Here in the lowest layer, components are being grouped into clusters, and then we are trying to integrate, and it goes so. So we'll just go to the steps. A bottom-up integration strategy may be implemented with the following step. First, the low-level components are combined into clusters, sometimes called as build, that performs a specific software function. A driver is written to coordinate the test case input and the output. The cluster is tested, the drivers are removed, and the clusters are combined, moving upward in the program structure. So the first step is we'll be combining the clusters in the lower level. That will be doing a specific work. After that, a driver is written to coordinate the test case input and output. Then the cluster is tested, and then the drivers will be removed, the clusters will be combined, and then we'll be going to the next higher order steps. So here, first in the diagram, it shows as cluster 1, cluster 2, and cluster 3. So the clusters that doing a specific functions will be combined with the help of the drivers. The clusters will be tested and integrated, and then it will be moving as such in the above direction. So we have discussed two types of integration approaches: bottom-up approach and bottom-up approach and top-down approaches. In a top-down approach, we'll be starting from the main component and goes downwards. While selecting the modules, we can either use in the depth first manner or the breadth first manner, and then we'll be testing, and then we'll be combining. In bottom-up integration, we'll be starting from the lowest level modules, and we'll be forming the clusters, and then we'll be testing, and the the clusters will be combined, and likewise this will be going. So after the integration steps, we'll be doing the regression test to check whether if any errors have been newly formed due to the integration steps. So by using the integration testing, we can identify if any errors are found. Thank you.